Hi guys, I hope you guys are having an amazing day. So today we're going to talk about the scariest drag queen shows I've ever seen. And by scary, I mean they're so inappropriate. Now, before I start videos like this, I always say that I'm not trying to incite any form of violence on this group of people. But like with everything, there needs to be boundaries. And I feel like boundaries are just being squashed at this point. So let's get right into it. So when I looked up drag queens for kids on Reddit, I thought it was so interesting because you had to confirm that you were 18 years or older before you could even look at a family-friendly drag queen show. So let's just start with a red flag. I will never understand why people say that it's self-expression to twerk in front of children. In fact, isn't this damaging to the LGBTQ community, to be extremely honest? Because for years, everybody kind of stereotyped them as being... Oh wait, I can't say that. Okay. We can't say the P word, so let's just call it philia, okay? So didn't for years, LGBTQ community was subject to people stereotyping them as philias? And now they're actually doing the very thing that they're stereotyped for. This agenda is insane. But honey, it gets worse. So let's move on to the next video. You guys. This is disgusting. Oh my god. How is this not inappropriate to people? Like, how can people say that this is something that should... You know what? My hair is getting on my nerves today. How can people say that this is something that should be embraced? Honey, this is literally sexual abuse. Like, this is child abuse. You're literally looking at a naked person. Look at this. I mean, yeah, there's tape on the nipples. You guys, this is disgusting. She's literally walking around with a stripper prostitute. Not to mention that the caption says, children belong at drag shows. Children deserve to see fun and expression and freedom. Like, I will never understand how drag queens became something for 21 years or older, and now it's something for like the family and children. Like, this is horrific, guys. This is horrific. It really, really is. This is just nasty. Like, hold on, let's look at this one. So this one's something that got a lot of backlash all over the media. And basically, I'm not going to play the music because, you know, YouTube is very particular about their music. So I'm not going to play the music, but the music itself, it literally talks about sex and it talks about intimacy and things. So for people to say that this is not a sexual act, if you're literally dancing to sexual music to express the music or to act out the song, that's what dancing is to a song. You're kind of acting out and interacting with the song. So if the song itself is about intimacy, and this person's dancing to it, doesn't that all by itself show that the whole show is sexual? Not to mention the sign in the background that's like, it's not going to lick itself. Honey. So not one of these parents got up and were like, you know what? This is not only inappropriate, but that sign is kind of sketchy and disgusting. Like, how can you say that this is just self-expression and the sign is literally telling you exactly what's happening? Like, what are we thinking at this point? They're literally teaching kids to be strippers and making money for being sexy. And it's horrible. And people are like, oh, this won't influence the children, and they're not doing that. Okay, well, let's watch this video. And then they come up and throw money at her. You're sexualizing children. I do not care what anyone has to say. You're literally throwing money at her for dancing. So now in her mind, it's normal. So once it's normal to dance for money, when she gets older, she's not going to feel any kind of conviction to literally having an exploited lifestyle. You're exploiting children. She literally has, oh my gosh, the drag queen literally has a thong. And I mean, this whole thing is just, this is child abuse. I don't understand how the parents feel like this is okay. Even the caption, drag is for every age. I'm sorry. Why is this okay? That's nasty. It's nasty. Or even like this video where the drag queen's like teaching kids to twerk.
This room know how to twerk. It's all in. And then you just move your bum up and down like that. And that's twerking.
Why are you like trying to mold them into accepting things that are inappropriate? This is inappropriate. This is never okay. And look at this one. Look at this person. This drag queen is in the library with students, literally pulling the pants down. Really. And not to mention, so many schools are saying that they're putting so much money into funding drags for children, funding this stuff, but yet there's children starving. There's children have food insecurity. They need clothes. They need so many other things, but they're literally funding teaching children how to dance for money. Where has the standard gone? And I feel like some drag queens know this is inappropriate. Like this person who was doing this with the fake boobs, which is honestly, in my opinion, mocking women. And then he tries to cover up when he sees a child. So he knows this is inappropriate. He knows that, okay, this is something wrong with this. I really shouldn't show this to kids. He knows that. But yet in the other video that we just saw, they thought that that was okay. They thought it was okay to just like show your kids the boobs because it's self-expression. Like, what do you have on the inside that you feel like you need to express? Nakedness and honestly exploitation, sexuality. Like this person has children giving him money, dancing for money. Really? I mean, look at this kids event for kids. What's the point of literally walking around and showing yourself? I feel like if these people were straight, okay, if it was like a heterosexual teacher that came in with a thong and said they wanted to read stories, I'm telling you right now, everybody would be like, oh my gosh, that's inappropriate, that's not right, that's so disgusting. But if they go and identify as a drag queen, now all of a sudden it's appropriate. Okay, I feel like this whole agenda is being forced on people. And they're saying, well, the drag queens are friendly and they're not forcing stuff. But look at how aggressive these events can get.
Firmly grasp it in your hand. Firmly grasp it. Firmly grasp it.
Oh, and that's supposed to be fun? That's supposed to be fun? If it's okay for an adult to force another adult to touch a private area on their body after he clearly doesn't want to do it. If that's okay, so what's next? They're going to do the same thing to children? I mean, come on, guys. What are you doing that you feel good to literally be naked and dress in exploitive and just provocative clothing and walk around with children? Why children give you money to dress like that? Then you take the child and have the child do what you're doing, which is like walking around and doing things to get more money, and that makes you feel empowered because you're teaching children to express themselves. That's odd. It's almost like they're getting children ready to do that themselves. I'm not even trying to speculate, but I'm just saying, if you're teaching children to dance for money, it's not kind of, I mean, that's inappropriate. Dressing like that for children is inappropriate. Teaching children to dance for money is inappropriate. Look at this lady who literally did a strip show in front of children. What's the point of her being spread eagle in an elementary school? In the name of self-expression. You guys, there are so many people saying, well, pride events are not a problem and children need to know that this stuff exists so that way they can know what they want to be, and they need to be able to express themselves, and they need to do this and they need to do that and all these wonderful things, right? So there are some drag queens who don't do this. There are some drag queens who have not been inappropriate. But since they don't want any boundaries, and since they feel like self-expression is whatever you want it to be, and your truth is whatever you want it to be, there's no boundaries on any of this whatsoever. So now you have a teacher, or whoever this lady is, she's literally spread eagle in front of elementary school students at the elementary school. Really? Is she expressing herself? Is this lady just expressing herself? Is that what's happening here? Because if a person that wasn't expressing themselves spread their legs to children, that would be called perversion. That would be called child abuse. That would be called disgusting. But since she's doing it in the name of self-expression, all of a sudden it makes it okay. Okay, if you change the title to the poison, now it's not so bad. If you call it flower dust instead of kill you here. You know, it's just, I mean, you guys, now don't get me wrong. There are some people in the LGBTQ community that are against this. I'm not saying that the whole LGBTQ community is like this, but what I am saying is this stuff needs to be talked about because they're trying to put it in your schools. They're trying to fund it. They want your children to walk around with the drag queen for money. They want your children to think that it's normal to walk around naked and do sexual and seductive dances. And their argument is, why does it have to be sexual? Why does being naked have to be sexual? Isn't that nature? Isn't it? I mean, come on. When you're sexually attracted to a person, you look at their body and you're like, oh, he's attractive. Oh, or guys would say, oh, I think she's sexy. You know, that's nature. So for them to try to go against nature and say it's odd for a person to look at another naked person and say that it's sexual is just counterintuitive, idiotic, and disgusting and disturbing. Okay? Now, not all drag queens feel this way. Like, for example, this person.
What in the hell has a drag queen ever done to make you have so much respect for them and admire them so much? Other than put on makeup and jump on the floor and writhe around and do sexual things on stage. I have absolutely no idea why you would want that to influence your child. Would you want a stripper or a porn star to influence your child? It makes no sense at all. A drag queen performs in a nightclub for adults. There is a lot of filth that goes on, a lot of sexual stuff that goes on. And backstage, there's a lot of nudity, sex, and drugs. Okay? So I don't think that this is an avenue you would want your child to explore.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. See, not everybody's like this. But the fact that they're trying to force this idea of normalizing, sexualizing children and letting children see explicit dances and just, honestly, you guys, this is so against every single thing about morality. And I'm serious, the further society leaves God, the worse society gets, the more chaotic they get, the more disgusting they get, the more they lose touch with reality. I am so just saddened and disappointed in society after watching that. That is terrible. But what do you guys think? Please like and subscribe and comment down below. I love reading you guys' comments and commenting back. It's so fun. But what do you guys think about all this? Do you think the drag queens should be in schools? Like a lot of people are trying to push drag queens in schools. And I will see you guys next time. Mwah!